Imagine a movie that breaks all the rules. The soundtrack is old, the dialogue is edgy, the structure doesn't make sense, and nothing's spelled out for you. Chances are you just imagined a Quentin Tarantino film. According to the New York Times, Tarantino's 1994 film Pulp Fiction, quote, reshaped the landscape of independent cinema, influencing both mainstream Hollywood and aspiring filmmakers around the world. Today, I'm going to explain how Quentin Tarantino has impacted filmmaking through his innovative storytelling, his distinctive use of style and dialogue, as well as his lasting influence on pop culture. First, let's take a look at Tarantino's groundbreaking approach to storytelling. So, Tarantino revolutionized narrative structure in modern film. Before him, most movies had a very linear structure where you had a clear middle, end, and a beginning. Um, but Pulp Fiction really kind of flipped all of that on its head. The story unfolds like just completely out of order. The beginning is the end of the movie, and then the end of the movie is just the beginning, and it all ties together somehow. It's really weird. So, this nonlinear approach wasn't completely new, but Tarantino kind of made it in a new way. He made it more stylish and bold as well. So, his success showed that viewers were ready for something outlandish, and it inspired new directors such as Christopher Nolan and Paul Thomas Anderson to experiment with fragmented narrative structures and complex timelines. Um, so without Tarantino, we might not have films such as Memento, Inception, and Magnolia if he hadn't experimented with nonlinear structure and complex timelines. So now that you know a little bit about how Tarantino has changed storytelling, let's look at how his style and dialogue stand out. So Tarantino's films look and sound and then have a rhythm that are recognizable instantly as Tarantino films. His scripts are loaded with witty dialogue and pop culture, and everything sounds like an actual conversation. Characters can talk about cheeseburgers and comic books and whatnot for 5 minutes, but it's still gripping because of how he writes that dialogue. Because there's always something at stake in every scene he writes, and this is very unique to him. And you just don't see any other filmmakers and writers doing that. Rolling Stone said that Tarantino's dialogue crackles with pop energy and danger. So visually, he pays homage to genres that inspired him, such as grindhouse cinema, spaghetti westerns, and kung fu films, and creates through his implementation of all of those. You have this. He has his own like Tarantino style. You can really see it in movies such as Kill Bill with its like martial arts choreography, and then Django Unchained's Western influences. And then all of his movies have like just extreme violence that feels really casual, and it ties all of his movies into like their own genre basically. By merging all of his different styles, like the art styles, and then adding mainstream appeal, Tarantino has proved that even films filled with gore and crazy humor and chaos can still be intelligent and stylish and extremely cinematic. So, finally, Tarantino's impact doesn't just end with the film industry, he's really changed pop culture. So, Tarantino's movies are packed with moments that have become iconic, such as the dance scene between John Travolta and Uma Thurman in Pulp Fiction. And even people who haven't seen the movie have probably seen that scene like on Instagram Reels or something like that. There's just super iconic scenes from a lot of his movies that get used all the time today. And you have other filmmakers that really copy those scenes in their movies. His films have also been referenced and parodied a lot in a lot of other movies and shows, and some music videos too. The Simpsons, the Community, and even Fortnite have done that. So, according to The Guardian, Tarantino's mix of nostalgia, violence, and just a weird style have really shaped how pop culture kind of sees like coolness. Um, Tarantino's characters and aesthetics have also influenced fashion trends. So there was a point in time when like a lot of his characters wore black suits and everything with like really skinny ties, and then you started seeing that just in fashion. And then after Kill Bill, you started seeing people wear yellow jumpsuits, and then he always has like weird retro sunglasses, and you'll see people wear those too. They've that's all made they've become like cultural like icons, I guess. And that's just all thanks to his films. So there's even like now there's some like Halloween costumes and then like TikTok trends that have that really use Tarantino's style. Um, so when filmmakers' influence stretches from Hollywood to memes and reels and then costumes and fashion trends, it's a really big impact on the world in general, not just on filmmaking. So Tarantino has influenced film, and it's just undeniable. Like he's regarded as one of the best writers of all time, and his style has been tried. People have tried to copy it and failed most of the time, but his narrative structure is really chaotic. Narrative structure has been parodied really well by some directors. Um, he's really changed how stories have been told, and he's redirected how dialogue is used in film, especially to create tension. And then his visual and cultural legacy is unparalleled by most filmmakers. Peter Travers wrote that Tarantino makes movies feel like you're seeing a movie for the first time. And it's really true. Like, no matter how big of a movie buff you are, if you haven't seen a Tarantino film, or like even if you've seen a Tarantino film for the 100th time, it still feels like this is the first time you've ever seen a movie. And that's why his impact will be long, long after his last film, which will end up being his 10th, actually. Um, Thank you.